Hey, it's Dan, welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today because so much is happening with the economy. It's hot out this morning, and we're going to cover so much in the news right now. And before I get into it, please, as always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you sign up for our email list because there's one going out this week, and today we have a sponsor, Aegis Multi-Collagen. In this world of EVs, guys, electronic vehicles, I love the stuff that you guys send me from around the globe. And what we're getting is we're getting stories about how people hate using these cars. They cannot stand it. They're pressed to get someplace, in an emergency, and then they have to worry about their charge, where it's not the same as gas. It's not like, I'll get a quick fill up and deal with this. And we're seeing more and more of this. Lee, who wrote a story that was in the Sun out of the UK, was talking about how awful his Porsche EV car is and how expensive it is to charge the car and how inconvenient it is, because there's times you want to go someplace. And you guys, I just want you to think about this last 24 hours of my life with people that needed stuff. A buddy called quickly, hey, can you help me here? Can you do this? Yeah, sure. Are you done filming? Yeah, I'm done filming. Meet me over here. And if I had the electric car, I couldn't do that, okay? And I have another buddy who's basically a mechanic. And one thing that this guy does is, in addition to his other job, is he always is shopping cars and looking for cars and finding deals and flipping vehicles. And he's great at it. He's really, really good at this. And he loves Toyotas. He loves the Toyota RAV4s is his thing. And, as I start talking about my son, saying, hey, listen, I want to treat the kid and get him a car for college because he's Ubering and walking to school and stuff like that out of state. And he's doing a good job. And let's see if we can find him a car. This has been ridiculous, guys, to find him a nice car that's inexpensive, that you can get the full pedigree on. And what I mean by that is when you buy a car, you want to know who owned it, what the story is, what happened with the vehicle. Now, you can get a Carfax and things like that, but will the car make it through the smog check? Here in California, when you transfer a vehicle, you have to have a smog check within 60 days. And yes, it's a total scam. And yes, the idea with it is that, hey, you may need some auto repair, and if you have repairs that are under a certain amount, you have to repair the car. If the car has the check engine light on, when you take it, it's an automatic fail. There's all these rules to it, so I won't bore you with any of that. But finding a vehicle that passes his inspection was crazy, because I'm not kidding you. 15 cars, like, okay, it didn't, he gave me, this many miles this year, this much, and then it wouldn't meet the Carfax. Didn't have clean title, listen, we're going through a divorce and I think I can get her to sign off for it. Story time after story time. So, the big problem with EV cars right now is that they say the poor and the elderly are going to have the biggest problem with these cars and, assimilating to buying them. And I couldn't agree more. So, with my son, my buddy, he bought his son a Camry, an old Camry, and said, what do you think of this thing? And it's, probably just a $5,000 car. It was nice, had a bunch of miles on it, over 100,000, but it's a Toyota, so it was going to go far. My point of this is that this guy knows what to look for. This guy knows when he gets under the hood and starts talking to people. He wants, a real story. He does not want some guy that bought it at the auction that's just going to flip the car, that did the bare necessities to get the car running, and then this guy's going to sell the car and flip the car. He doesn't want to do that, as far as the car that I would drive. So, man, oh man, these electric vehicles are ridiculous. North Carolina just passed a rule where they're going to start charging people a minimum assessment to have an electric vehicle. Okay, that's crazy. Nobody wants to pay that. The idea of this was that you got out of paying, gas fees and things like that. People that have these cars are talking about how they're spending more money right now than they are with gas, their time and everything else. This guy Lee that was in the UK, I mean, this guy's the poster child to never buy an electric car. But my son, you know, he got lucky because, you know, good old Uncle Tom is out looking for cars for him. And, you know, the mistake I made with my son was telling him what I was going to do. Oh, come on, find this, find this. What about this one? What about this one? And we finally found the car. So the thing about this was that it was in the same city that we were in, which is astonishing because we were looking at cars 60 miles away and all over the place. So to find something close by was a real big deal. So second owner, young girl owned the car, got married, pregnant, going to, you know, start a family, and they have an extra vehicle. Great. So great story. Mechanic loved the car, but man, oh man, what an ordeal. But again, the electric car saga, this is not going to work, guys. I think this is an absolute disaster out there. The thing about Lee is he was talking about how, you know, he hates the other electric vehicle owners, that they're all rude, they're all jerks, and pretentious. Remember, we talked about that. So it's kind of interesting. You know, Tesla came up with a game changer for that company, which is an adapter that's going to make Ford and GM cars and other cars be able to use the Tesla chargers. And they're going to make a ton of money because they're going to charge people for that. But now there's a home charger that they can get, and that's another story below, is that there's a home charger that you can use that you'll be able to connect your EV car to. This is not easy, guys. There's nothing about this that's inexpensive or easy. And you know, when you look at the electric charging capabilities, I mean, it's $1,000 to get the charging cable hooked up in your house. And do you have the load? Can you do this? And the thing that I can't stand is I get people that say that my car is free because I have solar on my house. I looked at a house yesterday that they spent $86,000 in solar, and I couldn't stop laughing because you spent 86 grand on solar, and then they still have fees. So they must pay you every month for the electricity. No, it doesn't work that way, sir. You don't understand. You're right, I don't understand. So this is ridiculous. Now, real estate right now, you know, are they going to raise interest rates next week? What do you think? I think they are. I think that there's going to be economic news that's going to make them bump it up. But again, it's not the point. It's too little too late, guys. This is done. This is done and finished right now. The real estate market has taken a huge hit. My buddy in Vegas, hey, I'm going to go to some open houses this week, Dan, and went to different areas. So don't tell me, oh, he just went to the horrible North Las Vegas area. North Las Vegas is growing and considered a nice area. He went all over the place. The best open house that he saw of all the open houses he went to, they had 2 showings, 2 people that were there. He was a looky-loo. He was, don't count me, not putting my name down in anything, not interested, just checking it out. How's the traffic? Awful. Multiple houses that had nobody show up for an open house. That was advertised, not, you know, some mook that put a sign up on the street corner, hey, today between 1 and 4. Not talking about that. Talking about people that had planned and advertised their open houses. This is not happening right now. And you're going to see this get more and more bleak right now. Here in Southern California, I love to play the Zillow game, you know, Zillow Monopoly, where you sit down and look at the houses and see what the price reductions are. One thing that Zillow used to do that they don't do anymore is they used to list the pre-foreclosures, which made it really easy to figure out if somebody was in trouble. And then they just did a region like, hey, in this zip code you're looking at, there are 2 pre-foreclosures. Now you can barely get those right now. Barely get those pre-foreclosure listings. So there's that. The next thing is an investment site that stepped forward and was talking about how right now is a great time to buy property. Don't wait to buy property. Do it today. Get it today. And it's like, who are you kidding? Listen, are you going to build equity or not? You don't understand. If you buy something for $300,000 and it goes to $250,000, you haven't built equity. Even if you paid cash for the house, you haven't built equity in your house. So to sit there and say you're guaranteed equity and guaranteed looking through history that real estate's going to go down, you could have an economic downturn where real estate is down for 10 years and nobody wants to admit that. It's always going to go up. It always turns around quicker. You know, every expert that's worth its weight in real estate says to wait till the end of 2024. So over a year from now, wait 15 months before you buy a house. You know, it's funny. I remember this in the 90s, you know, when there was a recession. Hey, stay alive to 95. Now there's stay alive to 25 is the gaff. So these kids are out fishing. It's nice. But that's what you're seeing right now. Seeing more and more of this. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far. Let me know what you think. There's more to cover on the real estate thing too. Let's talk about our sponsor, Ageless Multi-Collagen. You know, collagen has been called a lot of things, and it's even been called a modern day fountain of youth. It is a tasteless, odorless powder that you put in a beverage. And it is a protein that helps you with your skin health, your nail health, your eye health, joint pain. I love it. I've been taking it for over 3 months now, and it is absolutely amazing. It's the first thing I take when I start my day. BioTrust set up a website, healthwithdan.com, where you can save 51% off the regular price. So many of you have signed up for this. It has been an absolute success. But think about this. Collagen is something that when we're 20, we have an abundance of. As you get to middle age, which I still am trying to figure out when they tell me this, what is middle age? Because I feel like I'm older than that. That we only have about 20% of the collagen. So you need to take a supplement, but you need to take something that's going to make a huge difference. If you go to healthwithdan.com, you can save 51% like so many of you have already done and get the collagen. So many of you have reordered. It's absolutely amazing. But look at this. 5 different types of collagen from 4 premium sources. Try it today. It makes a huge difference. My skin health is great. My nail health. My nails grow so fast. It's unbelievable. So check it out today, healthwithdan.com. But collagen is something that each and every one of us need, and it comes from the good company at BioTrust. Look at healthwithdan.com. That looks like it would be fun for about 5 minutes. What do you guys think? They're going to tax you to oblivion. That's the goal with all of this. So anybody that buys an EV car that thinks you're going to escape it, you're not. People that bought solar panels on their houses here in California, there's fees that you have to pay. It's just not free love anymore like everybody talked about. Duke University in North Carolina, they came up with a tariff program that they think is just utterly brilliant and utterly fair for everybody. Read the article below because I think it's anything but that. So for you to get one of these cars and just think that you're going to escape it is crazy. Now, one thing that's happening on a weekly basis that's concerning that you people are like, wow, thank you, or you're not interested in, and that is the bank closures that are happening. This is a problem that everybody needs to look at. And once again, go talk to your bank. Go have a relationship with your bank. Dan, I'm not a player, Dan. I have no money. You're a customer of these people. Ask them. You know, they keep cutting hours. They, you know, used to be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and now they're 10 to 4 and closed on Saturdays. Have you noticed that, guys? It's getting worse right now. Getting rid of ATMs. You know, Chase Bank just announced 3 more bank closures in Washington State, which you said, who cares? The point is that this led to another story about 6 other states that have multiple bank closures right now. So the link is below on that, guys, and you need to take a look at this, and you need to get yourself ready for the day that you're, you know, that your bank doesn't work. What happens if, you know, some of these people are right and the internet goes down? What happens then? How would you pay for anything? Seriously, how would you buy food? How would you get by for a short period of time if there was no electricity? Okay? Well, Dan, it would be Mad Max if that happens. And you know, okay, let's just say that people are civil, even though they're not civil at all. You're seeing more and more robberies at such a high level It's crazy. Home Depot, Lowe's, they all want to have power tools set up so that they are deactivated until you ring them through the register. So when these people steal things, they cannot be used. They just don't work. Now, here's the thing. When you buy power tools, and from a guy who has bought and sold, tools, equipment, everything online, use the tools, use everything. Make sure it's good before you give the green cash, because I'm telling you, it's crazy. The other thing is that scammers are doing, which is absolutely kind of brilliant, is they'll pull out a drill that works. So you'll zip, 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 zip. Hey, you know what I've got? I've got the box. Let me put it back in the box for you. He walks over to his car and grabs the one in the box that hasn't been activated, and then gives that one to you. And you wave him off, and he has the cash. He still has the good drill and a trunk full of drills that don't work. These people are so good at scamming people, it's getting awful. But the man that started the Home Depot chain originally says this is organized crime, and people need to do something about all these thieves and everybody stealing, but it's making the prices go through the roof. As we get to the holidays, this is going to be god-awful this year. It's going to be the worst Christmas season ever, because you're not going to have the sales that you've had. You turn the news on every day, turn the internet on, TikTok on, and all you see are these robberies. California is cracking down on the car racing, which you can say it's no big deal, but this is happening across the country, where these people start in San Jose and race to Los Angeles, and people get injured, people get hurt, people die, they get ran into. It's awful. Well, these carbies, as they call them online, are awful. And you hear about the donuts and the street racing. If you are caught watching, standing, hey, pull over, let's check this out, you're committing a crime here in California, which is insane as that is. They're finally starting to crack down on these people, because people are getting hurt and the state's getting sued. Oh, we're being held liable? Yeah, you are, okay? So that's just where it's at, guys, right now. But, the EV car thing is a mess. I really feel lucky that I got my son a car the way I did, because you can't, some people get offended. You start asking questions. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. A lot of questions. Are you interested in the car? Yeah, I am. Can we have somebody look at it? Well, how do I know you're going to buy this thing? And again, I understand that, but I also understand that we had a system where the mechanic would go out and look at the car. Hey, I'll let you know if we're going to make an offer, and I think you guys are about $900 too high, or I think this, I think that, and it worked out the way that we did this. But man, oh man, the EV car market is going to be a mess. It's going to be an absolute disaster, and you won't be able to do this. So one thing that I may do is I may drive this car, because we're looking at shipping it to my son. I may drive this thing across country, and I want your input on that. What do you guys think about that? Where in the world is Dan today? And I'm in Toledo, Ohio. So let me know if that interests you guys, because I think it would be great. Baseball's about to end. The Angels suck. Shohei's gone. Mike Trout's probably gone. So now batting Lewis Smith. You know what I mean? It'll be that. Okay? Share your thoughts on this stuff. But a little due diligence, guys. Homework on your purchases. I'm telling you guys right now, there are tremendous deals in the world for anything that you want to buy right now. And I mean absolutely anything, if you have patience and cash. Okay? So people are desperate too, don't get me wrong. There's a little bit of both out there. Few things that I want to talk about. I'm going to elaborate on this in another video later in the week too. But people need to be resourceful right now when it comes to borrowing money and moving forward. If you have to buy a house right now and you are tired of the high interest rates, rich people have to pay these interest rates too. They don't just get a deal because they're rich. Now, Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic Bank, those degenerates gave, certain, high rollers 1% mortgages when things were at 2.5% and 3%. So that happened, but it's not happening right now because the interest rates are much higher right now. So one thing that you're seeing with the high-end properties is that rich people have got to come up with different ways to borrow money right now. So in the UK, this is called a Lombard loan. And you know, if you have assets of any kind, and I've done this, you guys, I have been tapped out, and I have been, you know, 12, 15 years ago, and I need to get some cash, need to borrow some money, your credit's not so good, you've taken all these personal loans out, but I had assets. Well, you can go borrow against the assets to move things forward. And if you do it, like let's say you have equipment for your business, there's equipment financing. There are financing that you can do with assets, you know, like stocks, bonds, things like that. And one thing that people don't do is they don't research this enough. In the UK, you know, there's a great article below talking about how people have borrowed, you know, money against these assets and bought $1 million properties. And you can do that without, you know, without signing loan docs. And basically, interest rates are at 7.5% in the UK as well. But you can get one of these Lombard loans against your stocks for 3.5%. Now, Dan, you got to have stocks first to get that money. What do you have of value? Do you have a car? Do you have a truck? Do you have tools? Do you have receivables? Do you have things like that? Because you can borrow against that asset and get money for your business or to move your life forward. You know, there's a very, I want to say it's Larry Ellison, but I'm not sure, and I'll research it before the next video. And there's one billionaire who went out and borrowed almost $18 billion against his stock. And by doing that and paying the interest on it, not only did he make money on the interest, but he doesn't have any income. You understand? Because it's a loan. Hey, I have a loan out. I owe all these people money. I owe $18 billion. And they wrote him a check, and he lives a very lavish lifestyle. So do your research on anything right now. I really love these experts that are like, hey, go buy a house. Compass Real Estate, Redfin, Realtor.com. All these people below are just saying go willy-nilly, do it. Do it, do it, do it. You'll never have a better time. And when they lower interest rates, prices are going to go through the roof. Okay, says you. As we have more and more layoffs and problems with business. The problem that you have right now is the next thing that you're going to start to experience is you're going to see these companies have realization day. And realization day is going to be where their numbers are not going to match the stock price. And you're going to start to see these stocks drop a ton in value. And, you know, shareholder value in the line of these companies is going to be found out in short order. So let me know what you think about this so far. But again, if you have something of value, think about it. I used to buy second trust deeds years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and had these people pay like clockwork. And then when the economic downturn went, they were like, you're Dan. I don't have to pay Dan. I have to pay a bank. So they didn't pay Dan. So here I was in my new office building, and it's about a year and a half later, and I'm talking to this guy, and hey, what do you do? I'm a mortgage broker, and I buy second trust deeds. Oh, really? Oh, I invested in that. Didn't work out too well for me. Oh, really? Why didn't it work out well for you? I told him the story. He goes, well, let me take a look at them. You guys, this guy looked at these, okay, and not only wrote me a check for a huge amount, okay, like literally the next day, and it was, he got back payments from these people. These people have an obligation to pay you. They're lucky he didn't foreclose in their homes. Well, I'm Dan, you know, and I was a kid. So anyways, this guy went and bought these things, and I had no idea sitting in my drawer. I had assets and I had money that I could turn. So what do you have of value that you could flip right now? Okay? It's that time. Look while people still have money. I'm going to finish this video with these last couple stories. The actress Reese Witherspoon. There was a story last week that somebody sent me where she's a billionaire, and they sent me a video explaining how she did this and how she made $1 billion, and I was like, wow, 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 wow. First things first, she's not a billionaire. She's very close to it. But two things that she did that were absolutely amazing. You have to look at this. We've talked about writing books and things like this. Reese Witherspoon went out and she had a book club, basically. I'm going to paraphrase this, where you could join and you could sell your book, through her network if the book was accepted. In other words, it was decent. And then what she did is, once you got your book on her platform, you had to agree that if they had the first right of refusal for film rights. So think about this. She had the pick of the litter, guys. She could make movies, she could produce movies, she could do whatever she wanted to do. And, I have nothing bad about Reese Witherspoon to say, but this was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then she has a clothing line and a fashion line, hair, makeup, all that stuff. And she just sold 70% of that company to consortium brands, the Draper James line. And, she was at a conference on Friday last week and said, hey, listen, I'm not a billionaire, but I sure do live the life I want to live. And I don't have to answer to anybody. I date who I want, I eat what I want, I go where I want, I work with who I want, and I have all the freedom in the world. That's it, guys. That's the lesson, okay? Deion Sanders is coaching the University of Colorado. Whether you like this guy or not, he did a press conference after his first win, and he said, listen, I don't care what you think of me. It doesn't matter. It's not going to play into my life. You have no idea of my struggles, my pain, my anything. We know nothing about Reese Witherspoon unless you're friends with Reese. So, but she has the right mindset. But guys, I'm telling you, what can you leverage? What can you make money on? I have a friend that does licensing. I'm telling you, you want to sit back and get some mailbox money, you do licensing. She's going to sit back and make movies and act and do what she wants, raising her kids, and not have to worry about a thing in the rest of her world. Then the final story, Laura and Tyler Griffiths, and I don't know why this popped up recently, but she was a lottery winner, and she was the lesson on what not to do. But she says, listen, we won $2.2 million in the lottery, and my husband and I, man, oh man, did we live a good life. And this wasn't the woe is me story. This was like, wow, yeah, we're not together anymore, but man, we had a great time with that money. We spent that money like you wouldn't believe. We bought stuff, we traveled, we went to Dubai, we partied, and she's got a few tattoos on her, so you can tell that she's, got it all going on, but a little crazy. Now, okay, so Laura had a good time. She's single also, guys, so you can read the story below. But this goes to the lottery, and I love these stories, but still, this goes to my brother who had the greatest lottery story. When the lottery first came out here in California and they had the 26 payments, he said he wanted to, when he won the lottery, he wanted to make it so that he would get he'd get the yearly payment. And he wanted to spend it and live such a life that he wouldn't have an address at the end of the year. He would party his brains out and need cab fare or a ride to go pick up his next check. We'll just mail it to your house. Oh, I don't have a house. That he would have to borrow money to get that check. And just the way he explained it in a lot more detail than that and what he would do with it, I always thought that was great. So again, not the best advice, but fun. And Laura Griffiths, she just walked through it too. She had a good time. So the other thing that doesn't look like a lot of fun, looks like fun until you get on one, is these bikes right here that you pedal, the four of you, and you get like 100 yards away and you're like, what did we do? Well, why did I do this? So please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Email list, and take a look at the sponsor, guys. It's 60 seconds out of your life, and they're always good people. Let me know. Share your thoughts, guys. Onward and upward, and I'll see you soon.